are you persistently thinking that completing this task or not completing this task has an implication for your sense of worthiness, in which case it's going to keep making you feel anxious. Do you have any thoughts about that?
Yeah, let me think about whether or not I have any sort of reaction to that. I think that the sense of worthiness thing, I think, is really interesting as it pertains to like my anxiety around professional stuff, because I do think that for so long I was like really caught in this trap of thinking that if I don't do something correctly, there would be a judgment from the team or a judgment from my boss that would reflect on myself. Like I found for so long I was like really caught in this like perfectionist style of thinking, and thinking that everything needed to be done to a certain standard. And I think that I guess one thing that I've learned is that having those sorts of rigid standards for myself has its own set of negative consequences, and like attaching everything to like a worthiness isn't relevant, and like still being able to hold my own and be like I am a worthy good person regardless of whether or not I meet this deadline has been helpful. And also I think understanding that like for me, a lot of the reasons I've gotten into trouble with deadlines in the first place is because I procrastinate because of perfectionist thinking. So like sometimes just actually starting the task and being like, well, it might not be the best thing I've ever done, but like I'm doing it. And like maybe I don't know how this entire, launch is supposed to go, or, whatever it is that I'm working on, but I'm going to just start doing it now, has even helped with the deadline anxiety in and of itself. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. Everything that you were saying makes a lot of sense, and I'm excited to come back to it. So I'm aware of our time for today, but just in summary from today, basically we talked about how uncertainty in general relates to anxiety, and how avoidances, compulsions, neutralizers all maintain that sense of uncertainty in a palpable way. And so getting more into, and then, so the first thing about intolerance of uncertainty is if you can make a good distinction between when you feel uncertain, what's a problem to solve versus what's an uncertainty to tolerate, that can be a way to build your tolerance of uncertainty. But what you're saying right now about anticipatory anxiety, procrastination, worthiness, beliefs about yourself as they pertain to uncertainty are all really great topics. So let's come back to them in our next session.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.